Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Hedera and Hbar, so let's just dive in and let's start off with this tweet here from SaucerSwap Labs. And we do see up 90% in the last 30 days. The highly demanded QNT token is now incentivized on SaucerSwap. QNT Hbar yield farm is now live. Bridge your QNT through Hashport Network to get started. Obtain QNT Hbar LP tokens. Now, to me, I would proceed with caution with this. First off, I don't really like to give custody on tokens like QNT. I mean, QNT is just like a lock away token in my opinion, but again, it is what it is. I think that this is great because we are expanding the network to other major tokens like, for example, QNT. And yeah, this allows you to not only transfer Hbar to QNT on this decentralized exchange, but you could also put it in a pool as well, which I don't have my hash pack set up for this or anything like that. But this is through liquidity. You could provide liquidity, and you could earn on a lot of this stuff in terms of the farm. For example, if we go over here to the farm, I would have to find it, but I know that QNT is on here somewhere, or at least I believe it is. Let me look up QNT. So there it is. So right now the APR/APY is about 41.16% and 49.37%. Again, like I said, I will not be storing my QNT on here. That's just my opinion. Of course, proceed with caution on this. Again, all of this is it is risky, I will say. I've utilized features like this before on Uniswap. Again, I don't think I've seen any problems arise from SaucerSwap. In fact, a lot of the Discord members love SaucerSwap, and I know a bunch of other individuals do as well. I think SaucerSwap is great, but hey, it is what it is. I just don't like to provide liquidity for lucrative APY or APR. That's just how I have been in crypto. I always, proceed with caution with that. But that is my opinion. But I think that this is great. I think that this is awesome. And there's a ton of other tokens on here as well that are supported. I know if you want to cycle it through APY, USDC with Sauce is like the number one, and then the number two is like USDC with HBAR-X. So awesome to see, and I think that they actually have their analytics in how much value is locked up. So $17 million is locked in value. You can see the trading volume is about 46.3 million, and this continues to grow. This is awesome to see. And Hashport has been, I know that this is saying like get started with Metacast or MetaMask, but that's just me like actually going to the website. This is Hashport. Hashport has been expanding, and DeFi on Hedera has been exploding. Recently, we've been watching the TVL. The TVL is sitting at about 17.19 million. This is not accounting for Stater because Stater is about $85 million as well. If you added it all together, it's like well over $100 million, which is substantial because if you actually go over here to the DeFi chains and look through this, like 100 million would put it on the board right above a lot of like the major ones out there, like Moonbeam, EOS. I don't even know where Cardano is. I remember, let me actually see where ADA is on the list. I know that it was somewhere on the top like 25, or at least I believe it was. Let me actually look up. So I can't even find Cardano. So there it is at number 32. So we're actually already past it, I believe, or no, we're actually down here at number 53, sorry. But 100 million would put it right over ADA, and it would put it over a lot of the other major tokens out there, like Elrond. Kava near Algorand is sitting at like 261 million, so we're closing the gap in on a lot of this, which is substantial. And you can see the TVL continuously growing. I look forward to the day where like TVL on Hedera is like sitting at the levels of like Solana, for example, which would be almost $1 billion locked up, or even like Polygon at 1.24 billion, which is huge. And I think that that day will come soon. With all of the grants that the Hbar Foundation is giving away, for example, there's $360 million of funds allocated, with 167 grants given already. You could see the ecosystem growth here. For example, this is all of the major projects, and you could cycle this out through DeFi. So here are a lot of the DeFi offerings. I know that this is small so far, but you got to remember that through all of these DeFi offerings, which is nowhere near the amount of offerings some of these other players have. For example, I think that it actually lists the amount of protocols it has. So there's only 4 protocols on Hedera providing TVL. We're already at 17.19 million. If you add Stater, yeah, it's over 100 million in value. But if you look at something like ADA, all right, it has 12. And if you go up the path to Solana, there's 87. Ethereum has 585. So you can kind of see how early we are in the DeFi scene. And I do expect this to continue to grow as more and more money is given out to grants and projects building out on Hedera. I also have been looking at NFTs and things like that. Asset tokenization is key. Again, only Toko so far. I look forward to this continuously growing. We will look back on this in a couple months, and I'm sure that this will have grown substantially by then. There's also, this is more so like NFTs and stuff in terms of like the art and collectibles. These are like the big ones. Siki has been one that we have been focused on for a while. I think that their streaming platform in terms of music is it's probably going to be very successful in my opinion. I almost compare it to Spotify. Like if you tokenize Spotify with NFTs, it's actually pretty nice. But also, you know, there's a lot of other things to look forward to, like Lithos. I think Lithos is great, and we actually do see here just one of the reasons we chose to partner with Hedera for the Web3 integrations. This is actually capitalizing on the energy efficiency around Hedera. And you do see over here, like we're excited to announce the LG Electronics, like we talked about this. But it was interesting to see them really kind of quote this yet again, because what I just seen is Europe being officially ready to move towards regulatory action on crypto's environmental impact. And I think that this is key to pay attention to, because a lot of people think that, all right, well, Hedera sucks, right? Like that's what we hear. Hedera sucks because the price action sucks, the token sucks, this sucks, whatever. Everyone always says that at the crucial times to look at a token. I remember going back to, we'll say like 2020, 2021, there was a lot of tokens that a lot of people were just talking down on. I remember when the Graph token came out, right? Graph is still a token that I've been eyeing because of how oversold it actually is, GRT. I remember when that token came out, a lot of people were talking down on it. They said that it was a scam, that the trading bots on Binance were ruining it, and this, that. And then all of a sudden, it skyrocketed to like almost $3. It was like $2.88. Made a ton of money on it as everybody was jumping ship. Again, another token was, I believe, I'm trying to think of the name. It was actually Matic. Matic was a perfect example. I use Matic as an example on this channel a lot. It was one of my biggest winners during 2021. It was sitting at like 30 cents flat. Everyone was getting so bored of the price action. Now, mind you, we already wrote it up a little bit from Binance. We were able to get in early, and it was at like, I think we got in at like 15 to 20 cents. It wasn't like extremely early, but it ran up, and we hit like a 10x on it. Again, not like a huge win. It wasn't like a 50x or 100x or anything like that. Zio XYO was actually one of the biggest wins that we had. But a lot of these tokens that were major winners were also tokens that everyone just completely trash talked. Hedera has been trash talked for well over a year, right? And although we are in a bear market, they have completely, and I would say like they really started to do it back in the summer, but they completely took this market by storm marketability-wise. They've been marketing, they've been growing, they've been building. And I really do think that in the next major cycle, the main focus shift is going to be environmental impact. I think that energy use and green technology, as you do see the energy crisis overseas growing and building, I really do think that this is going to be a big focus point and a selling point to a lot of these companies. And I think that that's why, quoting Lithos here, I think that this is a huge opportunity for any of these major projects and really kind of major platforms too to really kind of come over to Hedera. There's a lot of projects building out on Ethereum still, and you know they are still suffering major issues, and they could benefit greatly from moving over to Hedera. And recently Solana, right? We've been focused on Solana as well. I forgot the name of the token. I think it was Helium. Helium moved over to Solana, and literally days after, Solana was down for it was like for 7 hours or something like that. It was insane. Again, this is why I do believe in projects like Hedera that are reliable. They're trusted. You could tell the amount of work that goes into all of this. And listen, you don't need to buy Hedera. If you don't like Hedera, you don't need to jump into it. I just believe that this project is really going to take over in the next major cycle. You got to remember that there's still major use cases to go live. And I know that we've been waiting a long time on these, but you got to remember that these things do take time. There's a ton of NDAs. There's a ton of things in mind in terms of the entire process. Going all the way back to 2020 is when I first really kind of started to look into Hedera. I didn't really jump in until around, it was like December, January of 2021. I seen Credible Crypto tweeting about Hedera, and I was just like, I already did a lot of research at that point, and I was just like, all right, I had enough. I got to jump in. I think I got in at like an average price of like 3 to 3.5 cents, and we rode it. And I really do think that going into the next major cycle, as we sit at around like 4 to 6 cents, the amount of opportunity here is vast, but it's because of opportunity cost, like the Coupon Bureau. Right, and this is a post by Barbarian. We do see Hedera Hashgraph provides the Coupon Bureau absolute transparency for the coupon industry. Now, we are still waiting for this use case to morph into reality, because this would be huge. This would equate to about 11,000 transactions per second. This would be the equivalent of 1 billion transactions a day. 350 billion coupons are issued in the USA each year, where they to all be put through Hedera, were they all to be put through Hedera, it'd be about 11,000 transactions per second. This would be a huge game changer, because not only would it provide massive amounts of volume, but it would also demand Hedera to actually upgrade their internal transactions per second offering to well over 11,000. And they could do that because, again, it's throttled at 10,000. And then over here, again, Avery Dennison continues to expand with names like Google. We're excited to have worked with Google to trial their new Translation Hub cloud service. This new platform has allowed us to stay ahead of our global translation demands and better meet the needs of our worldwide community. And of course, we know that Google has been working closely with Hedera. Here's Google Cloud. Basically, marketing Hedera, customer spotlight. Google Cloud provides the infrastructure and technologies Hedera needs to support the next generation of DLT. And of course, Avery Dennison. Avery Dennison has yet to fully go live, right? And this is going to go live in the fall of 2022. And we are in the fall of 2022. We are waiting for this to fully go live and be morphed into reality as well. But we've been focused on these huge use cases. We just got listed on Coinbase. Things are morphing into reality slowly but surely. And I do think that things do take time. And, talking about like the marketability around Hedera, like I know that the marketing behind Hedera has sucked for so long. They've really kind of taken control of that and really kind of started to ramp it up. But you got to remember that you don't really need to market things that are, good. Things that are working, things that are expanding, building. The reason why we see so much marketing happen around a lot of these major projects like Solana, and I'm not just, calling out a major name, I'm just saying like Solana, we've seen so much marketing to the retail, individual during 2021. The reason why you need something like that to be fully marketed is because that there's cracks in the system. It's constantly going down. There's problems with the internal system. Again, like the inefficiencies do shine the greatest. That's the thing about Hedera that is so crucial to me. It's just like, marketing has sucked. Price action has sucked. But what hasn't sucked is the system. It's proven. These major companies are moving over to Hedera. These major companies are coming over to Hedera. And, the NFT space blowing up, the community blowing up. Recently, Hedera has announced that they hit 250,000 followers. They're at 253.6K and growing every single day. More and more people are finding out about Hedera. They're learning about Hashgraph. They understand why this could very well be the next generation of DLT. They really do want to learn. They really want to see what's happening here. And again, at the end of the day, price action will precede success. And I think that's only a matter of time before that does morph into reality. So with all that in mind, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on. If you guys want more free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.